that is Srimad Bhagavatam. But before moving on to the session, I would like to know who are all present on the call today.
हरे कृष्ण अनीता माता जी, दंडवत प्रणाम शिला प्रभुपाद की जय, गुरु महाराज की जय, प्रीतिदासी फ्रॉम शार्लोट। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna, Preeti Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna.
हरे
Thank you
कृष्ण।
for your association every day, Mataji. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga and all the assembled devotees. This is Yashamati Priya Devi Dasi from Chicago, Illinois.
Hare Krishna, Yashwamati Priya Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna. Thank you so
Hare
much,
Krishna.
Mataji. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Shyama Gauri Devidasi from Charlotte. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Shyama Gauri Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call and giving us your association. Thank you so much for all your services, Mataji. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Anita Mataji. Go ahead, Mataji.
Go ahead, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, Dhanvat Pranam to you and all the devotees. All glories to Prabhupada, all glories to Guru Maharaj, all glories to Ashtambal devotee. This is Mohini Lakshmi from Detroit.
Hare Krishna, Mohini Lakshmi Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much for joining daily. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna, Mataji, all glories to Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharajis. My humble obeisances to you and all the devotees. This is Krishna Kumari Devidasi from Raleigh. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Kumari Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. Thank you for your association every day. Hare Bol.
Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Vinita Gandharvika Devidasi from College Station, Texas.
Hare Krishna, Vinita Gandharvika Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call, and thank you so much for all your services, Mataji. Hare Bol. Anyone else who would
Hare
like
Krishna,
to?
Anita Mataji. Please. Hare Krishna, Anita Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga and all the glories to the assembled devotees. This is Manjari Leela Devidasi from Naperville. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Manjari Leela Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call every day. And thank you so much for your association, Mataji. Hare Bol. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Anita Ramya Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. My humble obeisances to all the assembled devotees. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. This is Sundarangi Radha Devidasi from India. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Sundarangi Radha Mataji. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Mataji, for joining the call. And thank you so much for all your services, Mataji. Hare Bol. Hare Krishna. Anyone else who would like to introduce themselves? Okay. We'll move on. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I once again welcome all of you to this Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. So today we will be moving on to our next session, that is Srimad Bhagavatam, which will be given by His Grace Keshavanand Prabhu. But before moving on to the session, I would like to hand over call to Sundarangi Radha Mataji to give brief introduction about Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, Sundarangi Radha Mataji. Take over, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Krishna Mataji, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Today we are so fortunate to have His Grace Keshavanand Prabhuji as our speaker today. Brief introduction about Prabhuji. Dr. Keshavanand Prabhuji was a professor for many years and he is now a practicing monk. Since the last 20 years, he has conducted extensive research and authored books in the field of science and spirituality. He feels the rift between science and spirituality must disappear to bring peace in the world. If spirituality is a superstition and a myth, science is materialistic and atheistic. A new approach to life is needed today that can bring the best of both. Science must re-enter spirituality and be humble to admit its defect, flaws, and ignorance, and spirituality must bear itself on sound scientific and rational ideas. Keshavanand Prabhuji has studied both Vedic and Western philosophy. Besides learning Sanskrit, he also learned Bengali, Gujarati, Marathi, Kannada to know about their traditions. His persistent endeavor in the field of science and spirituality has enabled him to come up with seminars on diverse topics like science and Vedas, mind and machines, science prayers to explain life, consciousness and beyond, etc. That he has presented in various colleges in India.
Hare Krishna, Mataji got dropped, I think. Yeah, okay. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. Anyone who would like to introduce themselves till Prabhuji joins? Oh, yeah, Mataji is joined.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. So, Mataji, some internet issue.
Yeah, okay, Mataji, you can continue.
Krishna, thank you, Mataji. Prabhuji has presented various colleges in India, Europe, America, these all topics. Under the guidance of his spiritual master, His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Swami, he has also started a Gurukul, a traditional system of Vedic education in Punjab, India, where children learn the ancient Vedic culture and values. Besides, he has started a farm community. The community has a traditional way of living, huts and thatched roof with cows and, of course, farming. The community will set a model for the world to show how to live a life based on the principle of simple living, high thinking. Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Thank you so much for giving that brief introduction about Prabhuji. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. I once again welcome all of you to this Bhakti Sangha Japa conference call. So today we'll be moving on to our next session, that is Srimad Bhagavatam. I see Prabhuji has joined the call. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna.
Okay. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare
Please
Krishna.
explain the obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you so much, Prabhuji, for joining the call and giving us your valuable time in association. And today's verse will be from Bhagavatam, Canto 8, verses from Canto 8, Chapter 5, verses from 17 to 20.
Did somebody? Yeah. नहीं आने का तो कट रहा है फैन चला और ये तो अटक ही गया.
Mataji, can you read the verse?
Hare Krishna. Okay, Prabhuji.
Anita Mataji.
Yeah, okay, Mataji. I'll read it. Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. निशाम्यैतत् सुरगणा महेन्द्र वरुणादयः नाद्य गच्छन् स्वयं मन्त्रैर्मन्त्रयन्तो विनिश्चितं ततो ब्रह्मसभां जग्मुर्मेरुर्मूर्धनि सर्वशः सर्वं विज्ञापयं चक्रू प्रणता परमेष्टितिने. Translation by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Lord Indra, Varuna, and the other demigods, seeing their lives in such a state, consulted among themselves, but they could not find any solution. Then all the demigods assembled and went together to the peak of Sumeru mountain. There, in the assembly of Lord Brahma, they fell down to offer Lord Brahma their obeisances, and then they informed him all the incidents that had taken place. Text 19 to 20. Mataji, can you pull up the verse? Savilokendra Vadin. Hare Krishna. Mataji, it has gone now. Okay. Savilokendra Vavyadin Nisatvan Vigata Prabhan Lokana Mangala Prayan Nasuran Ayata Vibhuhu Samahitena Manasa Samsmaram पुरुषं परं वाचोत्कुल्लवदनो देवान् स भगवान् परः. Translation: upon seeing that the demigods, translation and purport by Srila Prabhupada, Jai Srila Prabhupada. Upon seeing that the demigods were bereft of all influence and strength, and that the three worlds were consequently devoid of auspiciousness, and upon seeing that the demigods were in an awkward position, whereas all the demons were flourishing, Lord Brahma, who is above all the demigods and who is most powerful, concentrated his mind on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, being encouraged, he became bright faced and spoke to the demigods as follows. Purport: after hearing from the demigods the real situation, Lord Brahma was very much concerned because the demons were unnecessarily so powerful. When demons become powerful, the entire world is placed in an awkward position because demons are simply interested in their own sense gratification and not in the welfare of the world. Demigods or devotees, however, are concerned with the welfare of all living beings. Srila Rupa Goswami, for example, left his ministership and went to Vrindavan for the benefit of the entire world. Lokanam Hitakarinav. This is the nature of a saintly person or demigod. Even impersonalists think of the welfare of all people. Thus, Brahma was very much concerned at seeing demons in power. Hare Krishna.
Okay, Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. You can hear me, all of you?
Yes, Prabhu.
Okay. Okay, let's begin. Om Jnana-timirandasya Jnananjana-shalakaya Akshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Namam Vishnu-padaya Krishna-prishthaya Srimate Gaurvani Prachandur-visheshunyavadi Bhashya. Okay, so these two verses are, well, they are that upar, sabse upar, that churning of ocean. This is the pastime of churning the ocean between demigods and demons. And we see that demigods have approached Lord Brahma because they lost the influence because Asuras attacked demigods. Why? Because Indra, he actually insulted the garland of Lord Vishnu. We all know this. You have been discussing this. So what they are saying here, Nishamya etat suraganaha. All these demigods, Suragana, they, along with Indra and Varun, all of them, mantrayanta, they all thought themselves what to do. And they went to Lord Brahma. Now, one point is, demigods do not have approach to Lord Vishnu directly. Even Lord Brahma doesn't have approach to Vishnu directly. Even Brahma can meditate on Vishnu. He can go on the border of Shirotakshaya Sagar, ocean of milk, and simply meditate. And then he hears a voice. He cannot see Lord Vishnu there. And Srila Prabhupada mentions in one of his purport, some other purport, that Brahma never saw Vishnu, never sees Vishnu face to face, Shirodakshaya Vishnu. But still, because he has faith in Vedas, and Vedas inform us that Lord Vishnu is staying in Shirodakshaya Sagar. That is why he goes there, meditates, and then because of his faith, he hears the voice of Lord Vishnu. So demigods took help of Lord Brahma, and he meditated on Supreme Lord for some solution. Now, one thing is there, why did Indra insult the garland of Lord Vishnu? That's a very important point. Indra is such a powerful personality that as Lord Vaman, he serves Lord Indra in heavenly planets. In fact, Vaman, he declared himself as a younger brother of Indra. We all know that, Indranuj. So how come Indra gets so deluded, and then And then even when they started fighting with demigods, when the ocean was churned, still so when ocean was churned, so Vishnu suggested to Brahma, you churn the ocean, get the nectar, and all the demigods, and so you should make a truce with demons, because Vishnu suggested to them that, you see, because demons are now powerful, because Indra lost his power because of insulting his guru and insulting the garland of Lord Vishnu. So because of that, Indra cannot win. So the best option is to make to friends with the enemy. That was some advice given by Lord Vishnu later in this chapter. Uh, Lord Vishnu would have himself defeated demons, and he would have himself helped demigods, but he didn't want to do that, because he wanted demigods to learn themselves, to learn that they did a mistake, and to rectify the mistake, one has to do something. You can't just sit and rectify the mistake. That doesn't happen. You can't just hope that you will be okay one day. You have to work for it. And that is why Vishnu suggested to them, okay, do this, do the churning of ocean, make friends with demons. Now, this was a quite funny advice, because the demigods were really pissed off, because they thought, I have to make friends with demons. That's impossible. But Lord Vishnu suggested to them something which they couldn't even imagine. But because it was advice of Lord Vishnu, they had to do. Why did he suggest this? To actually destroy their false ego, destroy the ego of Indra, that he is very great and he can insult his guru, he can insult the garland of Lord Vishnu. He did that. And even after winning the battle and taking the nectar, even after that, Indra and all these demigods, they didn't actually, uh, their false ego was not destroyed. So there's the Upanishad, Talvakra Upanishad. If you read that, what happened after churning of ocean? They got nectar. Story finished? No. Indra was still egoistic. Demigods were still egoistic. Why? Because they thought that, okay, Vishnu helped us. He gave us advice, but we won this battle by our own strength. That kind of ego entered their heart. Previous to churning of the ocean, Indra, he got false ego that, okay, I am supreme. But now he got false ego that, well, we won the battle by our own endeavor. And to destroy that, Vishnu again took an avatar of Yaksha. There was a Yaksha avatar. He took this avatar, and then actually he came to all the demigods, and he presented them with a blade of grass. And he asked all the demigods. He asked Agni to burn it. He couldn't. He asked wind to dry it. They couldn't. He asked Marut, Varun Dev, to actually wet it. He couldn't. And lastly, Indra came and Yaksha vanished. So Lord Shiva told, see, this was not ordinary Yaksha, it is Varabram, Lord Vishnu himself. He came to actually tell you that whatever power you have, it's due to Lord Vishnu. In fact, that was not a fight between demigods and demons. The fight which is going to happen, the truce and which demigods will make with demons, and then they will churn the ocean, and then they will get the nectar, and then they will fight demons to actually again regain the nectar. All this was happening by the power of Lord Vishnu. Actually, Vishnu was enjoying through demigods this pastime, but demigods didn't understand. Now, the question is, what happens to them? Indra gets confused again and again, and he gets egoistic. Although Indra is a very great personality, he's not a small person. So what happens? So some acharyas, they recommend, uh, not recommend, sorry. So some acharyas comment that these demigods, they get asura vesh. There's a demoniac influence on them. Now, demons can influence Kali, especially on small time demons cannot influence these demigods. Indra, Agni, Varun, they are far too great for them. But Kali especially, and his intimate associates, like tamas, darkness, these powerful demigods, they can influence these, demons, they can influence these demigods. And because of that influence, sometimes these demigods, they get confused, as in this pastime, Indra is getting confused, and then, but uh, but the whole, what do we say? The good news is that when these demigods, they get confused and bewildered, they approach the Supreme Lord. When demons get confused and bewildered, they rely upon their own intelligence and strength. That's the whole point. So and that is their credit. That's why Krishna helps them. Otherwise, Krishna is neutral, isn't it? He's neutral and he helps everybody. It's not that he is not helping. He's not partial, he's impartial. But why is helping demigods? Why doesn't he help demons when they get confused? Because they don't approach Vishnu. That's the whole problem. And the demigods, they approach Vishnu. And that goes in the credit, and that's why he helps them. So Indra and all the demigods, they are approaching Brahma. Now, another interesting point is they are not approaching Vishnu directly. They are approaching Brahma, and through Brahma, they are approaching Vishnu. This is etiquette. You don't approach a senior devotee directly. You have to approach through a channel. If you want to approach a prime minister, you have to approach through his secretary. That's how things work. This is called humbleness. So Indra, when he got confused and bewildered, his false ego was destroyed. He immediately came to his senses. These demigods, although when they're influenced by demonic influence, they get confused, but they quickly come to their senses. And because you see, so even after Govardhan Leela, Indra came and he bowed down to Krishna, and then he said, he asked for forgiveness, and all these prayers were there. So Krishna himself, he took this responsibility to help demigods. Now, this is another point. Krishna helps his devotees by inspiring them to serve him and by actually destroying their false ego and destroying their anarthas. That is a job. That is the mercy of Lord Krishna, Lord Vishnu. So Lord Vishnu, these all these people, they went to demigods. They went to Brahma. Lord Brahma, Lord Brahma, he saw that he saw that this problem has to be actually taken to Lord Vishnu, although Lord Vishnu knows everything. He says, "My dear Lord, you know everything." But still, he goes to Lord Vishnu to inform him and ask for help. Why? Because Krishna will not help anybody until unless he's asked for. Why? Because if he helps somebody without asking, then he will be looked upon as a partial leader. And that's wrong. And that is why a leader must help or punish somebody if somebody approaches them for blessings or for punishment. Then he does. Otherwise, he has to be impartial. And this goes not just for demigod. This goes for uh, even their sons, kings and leaders. They have to be impartial to even their siblings and even their loved and near and dear ones. So Krishna is like that. There's a whole Sandarbha, Paramatma Sandarbha, which is dealing with this concept that Krishna is impartial. And all these points which I'm telling, it's from that Sandarbha. So Samahitena Manasa Samsmaran Purusham Param. Brahmaji went to Shirotaksai, Vishnu, the border of ocean of milk. And what he did, he Samahitena Manasa. This is very important. He went in trance. Samahit means he went in trance. He focused his mind on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And that is the point there. Brahma can focus. And because he focused his mind in trance, Krishna, he could hear the voice of Vishnu. But we cannot hear God, although he's present in our heart, because we are not focused on him. So scriptures, they say, who can focus on the Lord? Brahma can focus. Why? Because Brahma has three qualifications. Brahma is called Brahma because he knows Brahman. He has three qualifications: tapo, dan. So this comes in Upanishad. He has the credit of austerities. He has the credit of charity, and he has the credit of what's that? Tapo, dan. I just got sacrifice. Yajna, dan, tapo, karma. So he has all these. He has all these uh, assets with him, and that is why it is said in Upanishads. If anybody wants to go in trance, if anybody wants trance means if anybody wants his mind to be fixed on the holy name, he needs these three virtues: tapo, dan, and yajna. And then this knowledge of bhakti will fructify in his life. Otherwise, it will not. Otherwise, it will not fructify. So, samahitena manasa, and that is why it is said every devotee should do these three things: tapo, dan, and yajna. By tapa means austerities. By austerities means taking difficulties for the service of Lord. And yajna and dan means charity. We all know that. Charity of knowledge, charity of Bhagavad Gita to people, preaching. And yajna means sacrifice. Sacrificing your time and energy for the service of God. And sacrificing your near and dear things for the service of God. That is what Krishna is looking for. And then you become a proper vessel for for devotion to fructify. And then you can hear Krishna. When you will chant, you will be able to connect with the holy name and actually feel his presence. So that's what he did. Samahitena manasa. What Prabhupada translates samahitena? Prabhupada says by full adjustment. No. This I don't know what to understand by this. By full adjustment. Trusting translation. Samahitena. By full contemplation, maybe. Manasa samsmaranam. He remembered Lord Vishnu again and again, again and again, again and again. He sat there patiently, meditated on the Lord, and waited for his response. That is the idea. So it's not that if you go in trance, then immediately you will get a darshan of Lord and you will hear him. Still, you have to wait. Still, even after liberation, the philosophy is even after liberation, you need to wait for Krishna to manifest. Then you can imagine how much hard is for conditioned souls like us to see God. But nevertheless, he is so merciful that he manifests himself as deities, and he also manifests himself as remembrance in our heart. But if we want to see directly face to face, then that needs little effort on our part. Samsmaram Purusham Param. Obacha Utfullo Vadano Devanasa Bhagavan Para. And then what happens? Thus being encouraged, he became bright faced. So Brahma heard something in his mind. Demigods didn't hear. And that is what it is said. Uvacha Utfulla Vadano. Brahma was meditating. For some time, demigods were seeing, what's happening. He's just sitting there meditating on the bank of ocean of milk. And after some time, he opened his eyes and he was happy. So demigods couldn't hear. Why? Because demigods were full of false ego. That is why Vishnu didn't reveal his voice to them. They were not eligible. Demons conquered them. They were defeated. They lost their power. Vishnu could have corresponded with them. But demigods knew that this is not the appropriate time. He will not correspond with us. Vishnu will not speak to us because we have done a blunder. So that is again a mercy of Vishnu, Lord Krishna. By not reciprocating with us, he informs us that still you have to go forward. You have to do work on yourself. You have to correct yourself slowly and steadily. And as you do the correction, I will reciprocate with you. That's the idea. Srila Prabhupada says, anybody who follows Varnashram system for 1,000 lives perfectly without sin, he can get the Brahma's post. So Brahma's post is not given to a simple living entity. There is a lot of tapas, lot of dan, lot of yajna, without sin, without any dot of sin. He gets a post of Brahma. And then Krishna associates with them. Now you can imagine, now by this, you know what? So I just want to bring a point there, totally disconnected with this. But by reading this, we can understand how much difficult it is to even hear the voice of Lord Vishnu. So you can immediately switch over to 10th canto. It's like, that's what Sukadeva Goswami says, Aho bhagyam, aho bhagyam. What kind of fortune these gopas and gopis have that they are playing with Lord Vishnu, Lord Krishna. That is why he's surprised, because he knows that it is almost impossible for anybody to actually even hear his voice. Brahma is the highest living entity. What kind of austerities? That's why Sukadeva Goswami says, what kind of austerities these gopis and gopas have done to actually get to play with him and actually to embrace him. And gopis, they say, what kind of austerities flute has done to actually come in contact with his lips, to kiss him. So all this, that is why these first 9 cantos is very important, because they set a context to understand 10th canto. Otherwise, we will take all these pastimes cheaply. And that is why if you go to Vrindavan, people say, okay, so Babaji, what you are doing? I'm playing with Krishna. Last night I played with Krishna. Something, some bizarre thing they will say. But then what happens with that? Happens if you go to 10th canto, if you're not reading the first 9 cantos. So even reading this pastime, this churning of ocean and demigods and Brahma. Now you might ask, where are gopis? Where are gopas? Where is Vrindavan? Well, there is Vrindavan if you want to see. It is setting the scene, Gita. First chapter is setting the scene. Now, how's that? Observing the armies. Yeah, observing the armies. And the second chapter is setting the scene, isn't it? Yeah. The content of yeah. So first chapter is setting the scene, no? Proper translation.
Contents.
How was that?
Contents of the Gita summarize second chapter.
Yeah, second chapter. First is observing the armies or setting the scene.
Yes.
Yeah,
Both.
Prabhupada mentions that. So, but who reads first chapter? That's the whole point. Who reads that? Nobody has. I have not seen anybody who reads first chapter, except if you're doing the IIG course and if you want to remember 7 causes why Arjuna denied to fight or something. You just finish. But that is the important chapter if you want to understand Gita. Otherwise, that was not required. Gita would have started with Dehinosminithade. Okay, this is a message and this is. But Vyasa personally put that chapter there to actually help us understand what is the context of Gita. And because of the context, you can understand the message. Out of context, nobody can understand anything in this world of anything, even spiritual or material, whatever it is. You'll get misinterpretations and speculations. So first to 9th canto sets a context for 10th canto. That's the whole point. That is why all acharyas they recommend read first to 9 cantos for first 9 years. Anivakacharya recommends. And 10th year you enter 10th canto. So that is why if you read Vrindavan pastimes, Krishna is playing with gopis, Ras Leela. This is setting the context. That Brahma, he's so happy simply by hearing his voice in meditation, not even literally direct face to face. He's happy and he's feeling himself blessed, and he has to go in trance to do that. So, and then he shift to 10th canto. Okay, fine. So what is happening with gopis? That is why Sukdev Goswami is meditating on gopis. He's not a stupid boy, isn't it? That he's meditating on gopis. He's not a crazy person. Prabhupada says Mahaprabhu is not a crazy man. They know the value of Brajvasis. Why? Because of reading first to 10th, 9 cantos. That is why all these pastimes, churning of ocean, demigods, Ajamil, Ambarish, all these pastimes are because of that. And that is why some pastimes which are actually showing that demigods are getting confused, and then they're going to Brahma, Brahma is trying to approach Lord. All these things are there, and this has to be, if we understand this context, then we can then we can approach pastimes of Vrindavan in a proper spirit. Otherwise, we'll all become sentimental and sahajas. That's what Bhakti Santa fought his life, dedicated his life for that. Whole life, there was just one mission, Bhakti Santa Sri Thakur, that this is that directly actually is discussing Krishna's pastimes without being properly matured and getting eligibility. It's all farce, it's all nonsense, it's all crazy situation. Nobody gets anything by doing that, whatever is happening now. And that is why you see in all sampradayas, it is not us, it is not Bhaktisiddhanta or Mahaprabhu who said this. If you go to Nimbar Sampradaya, there is a strong tradition of reading Vedas. Although Nimbar Sampradaya is also focusing on the pastimes of Radha Krishna, highest pastimes of Radha Krishna, intimate pastimes, by the way. But Nimbar Sampradaya is too much rooted in Vedas. Sri Sampradaya, Vedanteshika, again rooted in Upanishads. Vallabh Sampradaya is one of the Sampradaya which is very close to our Sampradaya, and we had good friends with them in Vrindavan. Rupa Goswami was friend with Purushottam Dev Acharya, who was one of the Acharya of Vallabh Sampradaya. And he also quoted him in his books. They also quoted our Acharyas in our books. And our philosophy is like our, not philosophy, but let me say our principles are almost the same. But nevertheless, Vallabhacharya, he said, whatever sentiments we have for Vrindavan and Brajvasis, no matter how much lofty they look, but they should be rooted in Vedic knowledge and Upanishadic knowledge to give a proper context. Otherwise, you'll not be able to appreciate anything out of it. You'll become a sentimental fool and you'll not achieve anything. So, Sukhdev, you see, and that's quite interesting question. Parikshit had 7 days. Sukhdev would not have wasted like 7 days. He could have directly come to a crucial point, isn't it? Raj, Vrindavan pastimes, okay. And Parikshit was too much also like looking forward to hear pastimes of Krishna. That's what second canto. Parikshit asked Sukhdev Goswami, please, why did Krishna take birth in womb of Devaki? Why did he go from Mathura to Vrindavan to Mathura? All these questions are there, but Sukhdev didn't answer him directly. He didn't come to these topics. He first discussed first 9 cantos. Cosmology, what on earth Sukhdev Goswami is trying to discuss cosmology with a person who's going to die within 7 days? Is it sensible? It's a crazy thing. Somebody comes to you and says, Prabhu, I have a cancer and I'm going to die within 7 days. So please tell Krishna Katha. So what you will do? So you're going to tell him cosmology or what? I think people will laugh, there's this crazy man. That person is dying and he's telling cosmology, okay, now that doesn't happen, isn't it? So just as Sukhdev is a good teacher, Parikshit, he is a good student. He understands why Sukhdev Goswami is telling cosmology, churning of ocean, all these topics, which has no direct link with Krishna. No, it's not directly, it is indirectly linked. But he understands and he can see Krishna in these pastimes. How? By comparing. And that is also devotion, isn't it? That is also devotion. Anything which helps to glorify pastimes of Vrindavan, that is glorification of Vrindavan, that is devotion. And this is helping him to remember Krishna and approach Vrindavan pastimes in a proper spirit. And he was actually more than happy when otherwise he could have interrupted Sukhdev Goswami. Come on, I'm going to die and you're telling me cosmology, but okay, fine, let's find somebody else to do here. This is not a good idea. But he exactly understood why Sukhdev Goswami is doing this. Because Parikshit is Vasudevam Sarvamiti. So this first to 9 cantos is doing another thing. Not just setting a context for Vrindavan pastimes, but also what it is doing is it is trying to help us perceive Krishna in this material world. Because we are living in this material world and we are seeing it, we are touching it, we are feeling it, and we should not forget Krishna while interacting with this material world. So that's what first to 9 cantos are doing. That is why there is Virat Roop explanation, Virat Purush explanation is there. Cosmology is all Virat Purush, by the way. Cosmology is all how Krishna is present in this universe. Okay, let's have a look. That is why Sukadeva Goswami was more than happy. Okay, fine, If you can perceive Krishna in Vrindavan or out of Vrindavan, it's all the same thing. You're also perceiving Krishna. And Prabhupada also makes a point. Sukadeva Goswami is also trying to convey that just as Vrindavan pastimes are so blissful for a pure devotee, these pastimes in this material world, they're also equally blissful for a pure devotee. It is not that Vrindavan pastimes are more blissful than these pastimes. It's not like that. Because if you love somebody, you love everything about him. It's not I love his this thing more than that thing. That doesn't happen. You might appreciate. So if you love somebody, you might appreciate. Okay, I like your talks very much, but your clothes not much. But your way of talking is so nice. You can appreciate his qualities, but you will like everything. I appreciate your talk, but I don't appreciate your sense of dressing. But I like you, and I like everything about you. That's how it goes, isn't it? So Sukadeva Goswami is talking about pure devotion. So he's not defining pure devotion, but he's showing what is pure devotion himself by talking about cosmology. I mean to say, for most of us, it's a very boring topic. Nobody discusses it. But Sukadeva Goswami is doing it in spite of the fact that he is the highest caliber of devotee in this universe. That's why Narad Muni and all these people, they came to hear him, isn't it? So he's doing that. Now, question is, when he's talking about all these things, is he thinking about Krishna and Vrindavan? Of course, he can't forget Krishna and Vrindavan. That was his style, isn't it? Right from the beginning. He heard that verse, Putna, Aho Bakiyam. He was impressed by Krishna. And here he's talking about Vishnu and demigods, and what he's in Maya. No, he can see Krishna everywhere. And he's trying to, setting the scene, that's what I told him. He's trying to show that just remember Krishna. In outside Vrindavan, inside Vrindavan, wherever he is, try to remember him and you'll be blessed. That's how it goes. So we are not, I mean to say, you see, people talk about so lofty things, Madhurya Bhav, Aishwarya Bhav, and this and that. If you go to Vrindavan, okay, fine. This is Aishwarya Bhav. We are talking about Madhurya Bhav. We're talking about Madhur Bhav in Madhurya Bhav. All these kind of things. And then Vipralamba and Parakiya Ras. It is all there. But at the same time, it is also not there. The idea is, even Aishwarya Bhav is sweet, not just Madhurya Bhav is sweet. That doesn't go like that. Everything is sweet. Vallabhacharya writes, Srishti Madhuram. Everything is sweet. First, we have to come to this level. Everything about Krishna is sweet. And then we have to come to the Just a minute. All of you, can you hear me or what? Yeah, fine. And then first you have to come to this level. Everything about Krishna is sweet, and then you have to come to the next level. By mercy of Krishna, you will come to the next level. That Vrindavan pastimes are more sweet than this. So that sweetness has to be first realized. That is where all these pastimes are there. So, so demigods, they can become egoistic, but Vrajvasis can never. It's impossible for them to become egoistic. Brahma, he can approach God, Lord Vishnu, but not completely. Gopis can even kiss him. So they are not like foolish girls of Vrindavan. You can't make this conclusion. Even if they are foolish girls of Vrindavan, still they are much blessed than all these demigods in Brahma. So what they did to come to such position? Well, they did like not all, not this is sadhana, said gopis. They did sadhana in many lifetimes. They understood first to 9 cantos, practiced it, and then they entered 10th canto. That's what they did. That's all. So like that, we have to understand everything. Okay, Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada. Anybody wants to ask anything, I'll just. Okay.
Krishna, thank you, Prabhuji, for this very wonderful class.
Hello.
And you explained everything, like how we have to approach the Lord. So that's why the setting the scene is 1 to 9th canto is setting the scene to approach the Lord. And by whatever we see, it's only Krishna. So that's how we'll have to understand through these 9th cantos. So very nice. Thank you, Prabhuji. And we have hand raise. Yeah, Pranjal Prabhu, please go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Dandavat Pranam.
Hare Krishna.
So, Prabhuji, I had this question. Prabhuji, I had this notion earlier that the Kshirodakshay Vishnu was easily available to the demigods. For example, they would casually just see him, talk to him, as well as interact. But seems like
No.
I was wrong. However, if that's the case, then seeing and interacting with Lord Garbhodakshay Vishnu would be completely on the level of impossibility for even the Lord Brahma. Is that so? Like, is that the case?
Yeah. Garbhodakshay Vishnu, he has completely no idea what's happening with him.
All right. Thank you, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
Radha Jyoti.
Yeah.
Radha
Hare
Jyoti.
Krishna, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji, for allowing me to ask the question. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji, my humble obeisances. My question to you is how practical it is if someone tries to read first to 9 cantos for 9 years or 10 years and then read 10 cantos. Does it really affects the consciousness or
Of
the
course.
kind of japa?
Of course. First, if you root yourself in first to 9 cantos and try to understand God properly. Of course, it's not that we don't read 10th canto, but our focus should be on first to 9 cantos, then we advance nicely. Otherwise, already we are like useless Shudras type people in Kali Yuga. And we lose, familiarity brings contempt. We lose respect very easily. We take things lightly. So we need some background, and that is provided by first to 9 canto. It's good. So just like
Prabhuji,
you,
one more question.
so just like you say Krishna, Madhava, Govinda, they're sweet names. You should also feel the same sweetness in Paramatma, Anadi, Nidhanam, all these names. And then we can understand, okay, fine. Now we have realized a little bit of Krishna.
So, Prabhuji, you mean to say that the higher taste lies in first to 9 cantos, then there is much more higher taste than in 10th canto?
You can, I don't know, I mean to say, you can tell. Yeah, first canto is sweet, but 10th canto is more sweet. That's all.
And Prabhuji, one more question is, I heard that preaching should be done only about Bhagavad Gita, and we should not preach Bhagavatam. So, is my understanding correct that they don't preach Bhagavatam directly? What is it?
Yeah,
What is
yeah.
the exact thing?
No, whatever we preach, we can preach Bhagavatam also and Gita also, but we have to preach on the level of Sambandha. Our relationship with God, material world, time, jivas and prakriti. That's the level we have to preach. We are not
Okay,
this
Prabhuji.
body.
And one more question is about the Vrindavan. The Vrajvasis that they preach about the pastimes, and I've seen that none of them are interested to purchase Bhagavatam. Why is it so? Why they are not propagating any of these shastras? Though they are coming from
Who,
shastras, they have vigorously studied the shastras. They're
who,
coming
who,
on the
who have,
dais, but they're not issued.
who have studied?
Not from our sampradaya, the other sampradayas. I was trying to give Bhagavatam, and I came to know that they are not interested. So,
They are not interested in Prabhupada's Bhagavatam, but they will. They say you read Bhagavatam, Gita Press, or but they're not interested in Prabhupada's Bhagavatam. That's the problem.
okay, Prabhuji, thank you so much, Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Mataji. So next we have Priyeshwari Radha Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, should we connect everything to Krishna? In this world, good things are there, bad things are there. We can connect everything to Krishna.
Yeah.
And when we try to connect and it may go wrong, then who will correct us?
You ask devotees. No problem. At least start connecting, At least begin. But we don't do that. We connect everything to ourselves. That's a problem. At least begin to do it.
And just knows about, for this we should know Krishna also. Then we can connect. And
Yeah.
we does not know much Krishna. Then in this condition,
Yeah, so you should need knowledge first to 9 cantos, and then you have to learn how to connect.
okay. Thank you very much. Can I ask one more question? Sansar Davanal Arati is there. This is for also Guru and Shri Guru Charan Padma, our second Arati. The both are for Guru. Then what is the difference?
Difference, what? Both are for Guru. That's why I want to see some difference.
Someone asked to me, I doesn't know the answer.
Oh.
Krishna.
Prabhu, your voice is breaking. He has got frozen. Let's wait, Mataji.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Mataji. Please wait. Prabhuji has got frozen. Maybe internet issues. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Prabhuji got dropped off. Maybe internet issues. Please wait till Prabhuji will connect. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Hare Krishna, Mataji, Shyamagori Mataji. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Prabhuji is coming, Mataji. Please wait.
Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna
Hare
Krishna.
Krishna Mataji, I think Prabhuji has internet issue.
Okay, Mataji.
Yeah, I don't know what to do.
Then
We will
end it.
wait 5 more minutes, Mataji, because he is trying, Mataji.
Okay, Mataji, no issues. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare. Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare, Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare Rama Hare Krishna
Yeah, Hare Krishna Mataji. Prabhu is at a remote place and he's not able to join Mataji.
Okay, Mataji. Then we'll end the session, right?
Yes, Mataji.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna, dear Priyeshwari Radha Mataji and Path Prabhu. I can see your hand raised. We can ask the question when Prabhuji joins next time. Thank you so much for all of your wonderful association. Dear devotees, let's pay our obeisances to Prabhuji. Vancha kalpatrupasha kripa sindhu pevacha
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो
पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।
Jai Srila Prabhupada
जय
जय
Keshavanand Prabhuji ki
जय
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, dear devotees,
Hare
for joining the call.
Thank you.
गौरंग
Nityananda.
Nityananda.
नित्यानंद
Thank you everyone for
हरि
joining.
बोल।